Okay, we are recording.
Hey everybody. It's Gimbalabs Open Spaces time. It's January 15th today. It's Thursday, it's 14:30 UTC. I love this time of year. January 15th is it's like the holidays are done, the new year's starting. It's kind of a topsy-turvy, kind of a wild rush of things. But right now it's Open Spaces with Gimbal Labs community. There are 13 other folks, plus their note takers here. These are 90-minute sessions where we do a little shared learning, coordination, and decision making. It's an example of open governance. Uh, it's kind of a big deal. When we do this, we keep ourselves aligned with purpose. This could be your personal purpose or this big purpose that Gimbal Labs has, which is to provide open, replicable, safe spaces for everywhere, for everyone, everywhere to learn, to explore, to empower each other to solve meaningful problems out there in the world. And I don't know about you, but I feel better when I feel like I'm aligned to a meaningful problem. Um, you know, uh, I saw an AI ad on. I watch sports, man. I watch the NFL, and it's becoming kind of a problem because I have 1,000 channels, and and they have an AI commercial and they're like, it's a tough time out in the world today to be a problem, that AI is solving all these crazy problems. But when the solution becomes its own problem, then we've got multiplied problems. Uh, but in the past, I've always been sort of problem solver. It's one of the fun things to do. It's a lot better when it's not tied to a super huge consequence. But without stakes, what's it all about? So, with that little preamble, I think we should get kicked off with the next section. What do you think, Harsha?
I agree. I think we can quickly finish off the D-Rep demo today. Because I don't know how long Nelson can be around, so I don't want to keep Nelson for
Oh
too long.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to our little documentation. This is a Notion board where we organize and help ourselves stay on track with the open spaces session. That's where we are right now. This is January to April. We call it season six. And James put himself down for a DREP community portal live demo. And this is something that a group of us are working on. And that would be down, oh dear, where did I put it? Was it up here? No. Well, I have to go for it again. And I don't see I'm going for it again.
What are you looking for?
This guy.
Oh,
Oh, I know why. Because I don't use it here, because I use it over here. Nice. So this is our platform, a portal to all the sort of the governance Cardano governance votes. It appears that there are these um, initiatives, info actions that are out there in the world. The way our system works is that we this info action, for instance, the Delta DeFi Hydra trading infrastructure budget, um, we can still give community votes. So, like as a community member, and what's the gateway token? Like we have to do something in order to be able to vote on
yeah.
this.
So
Is
that is
yeah,
like the welcome to Cardano or uh, something, some course. Can you go to this thing?
yep. Over here in, oh, gotta sign in. Hold on, let me sign in really quick.
You know what, Newman, instead of us going through it, let
Oh,
Nelson and James go through it because most probably
yeah.
James would have to vote initially at least, and Nelson knows exactly which token the admin has.
James, does that
James and
sound
Nelson,
right?
does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, I think a demo for the community, if you guys are prepared for it, is great. So like we can actually show what the process is. And then on my side, unless we feel like we've covered that already, And then on my side, I was hoping to see how you guys are envisioning the decision itself in GitHub because
Right.
so when I submit a vote, I have to include an anchor to a file in GitHub.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um,
Nelson, is Nelson here? Nelson,
yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
was checking the token and I think it's wired to James's Andamio access token at the moment.
Oh, for
Okay.
GitHub?
Um,
Yeah.
so that's simply just to put the rationales. Okay, is it okay if I share my screen and go through what
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
go for
that'd
it.
be perfect. Yeah.
uh,
And then they pop this into the chat in case anybody wants to follow along.
how I
And I am curious about like our general level of you know, this type of involvement. Like are people following along with the either using our portal or on Gov tools like the wider Cardano info actions. You can while I'm just doing this while Nelson gets ready. Um, because I would I'm still looking for like that space where there's like active engagement with these proposals because I think it's super cool. It's one of the really fascinating things about our blockchain in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, like it's been a goal from the very earliest days to distribute ownership of these decisions. So one thing we tried in 2025 was having like an S3 style conversation, right? To consent to voting yes or no for a proposal. And
Yeah.
this is just a different style of experiment. What if we allow people to drop their rationales in together, collect those using, Web 2 tools, and then we gather that up and then we put one decision on chain.
Yeah. And the because right now it's just one wallet. And I think on our roadmap is to get to a multi-sig wallet to where the there's even further decentralization to where like two of five or two of several would make the vote, in that there's another sort of a check and balance type of thing.
all right.
But okay,
What
so we're looking at
is
Nelson's screen here.
okay?
Yeah. So this is drep.gimbalabs.com. And why we have built this platform is because Gimbalabs as a community is registered as a Cardano DREP in the Cardano governance whole infrastructure. And we have more than 60 plus stakes, voting stakes delegated to Gimbalabs as a DREP. And we have been inactive for a while. A lot of governance actions has been passed that we really didn't vote on. So we had to figure out a way for the community to get to a decision so that we can actually put the on-chain vote, right? So that's why we try to streamline it in the simplest way possible to get started, and then we can iterate and get better, right? If we don't like this process, then someone has to put up a proposal and then change how uh, we get to the decision. So the simplest way now, how we have wired this platform is that you have to be a participant in a course that's called Getting Started with Gimbal Labs. You can find that course here in Andamio courses. Loading, so you can find it here, Getting Started with Gimbal Labs. right? So if you are part of this course, there's not much blocking anyone to join this course. You just have to be an Andamio access token holder and just enroll in this course. Once you have that, you will be able to have a say in each of the governance actions live at the moment, right? So once you have that access, you can go here and put in your rationale. For example, we have one here that someone has actually put rationals and chose abstain, right? And this is one of the examples. So if everyone does that, then we have this statistics of how much yes, how much no, how much abstain. And for now, we're just choosing the majority wins scenario, right? So, um, but to show how we got to the decision, we are going to upload all of the rationals to GitHub, where we have previously used for publishing Gimbalabs DRAP rationals. And you can find it in GitHub repository, Gimbalabs DRAP.
Nice.
So that is the process for now. We talked about roadmap where we want to delegate the responsibility from James being currently holding the keys to vote for on behalf of Gimbalabs. We want to make it a smart contract token and then delegate those responsibilities using multisigs, but that's not there yet. So James has this admin power to connect to his Andamio access token and publish the rationals at the moment.
Ooh, oh, okay.
So once he does that, a similar file like this will just pop up in our GitHub. And
Interesting.
that is the rationale that we are going to be submitting at the actual on-chain vote for the moment.
Yeah, and if one of the proposals doesn't have any votes, then the automatic decision is abstain, or that's what we thought, but we don't know.
Yeah, if there's none, then it's that the community is inactive in making a decision, so we're not going to vote. But for
No,
those
or should we vote abstain?
Hmm. And what's the minimum?
There's no minimum. There's just like a simple. There are three people, and if two people say, "Hey, yes to this" or abstain to this, then that becomes our vote at the moment.
Right.
Okay.
and that's like we have thought about that because it's just to get the conversation started, right? Once people have disagreements with that process, then
Yeah.
that's the time when we know that we can improve.
Perfect. Okay. I mean, there's not much for me to show here, so I was able to authenticate as an admin. That's just a config. So
Yes,
Yeah.
see my access token name, but you could change it to somebody else's.
yes,
Yes.
And the GitHub part is all set up. That the GitHub authentication you guys have already handled.
yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Great. Um, and currently there's two pending admin votes, but none of them have any votes yet. So maybe what if what if we all commit, anybody who wants to try this, commit to
Right.
putting a decision in by next week, and then next week I can do a live demo of placing the vote on chain from what's in GitHub.
That sounds
So
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
currently we can't vote on the pending ones. Should we
Right.
keep them open until, I mean,
Those, yeah, the two that are here are Blockchain Ecosystem Constitution V2.4 and Cardano 2030. Are those When do those close on GovTool? I'm checking now.
So this red one appears 5 days, one epoch before it's actually closing. So it will be 5 days or less.
Ooh, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So it closes for us, and I see that here, right? Epoch 608, 19th January. And oh, so both of these close 4 days from now. Um, is that a parameter that can be easily tweaked and we give people
Yes.
per day?
Uh, yeah, I mean it is a parameter that can be tweaked.
It would be really cool to make votes on these two. And I guess so that would be blocked by if you guys can redeploy, let us vote on this up until one day before the end of the epoch, and then I'll grab them. What's the deadline? The 19th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll grab them before the epoch ends on Monday. Can we set a deadline maybe of by the end of day Friday? People jump in there if they can.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll make some announcements on Discord. I mean, do the people that are listening in, do you kind of, I mean, have you used this before? I'd love to hear from at least one other person that says, "Oh, I've done it and it needs or I got stuck." I know I see Nori is here. Good morning, Nori.
I've made a
Does
vote.
anybody else? Yeah,
I've used it. Yeah, there was a couple of issues a few weeks ago, but Harsha helped me sort them out, and I made a vote. I can't. It was a vote that's already gone, so I'm not sure which. But yeah,
right.
it's a nice process.
And
Simple.
would it help? I mean, would it help to get like an alert? Like we could do like a just ha I would just love to see more like engagement with it, or is there any blocker that's sort of keeping like how do you imagine it might like get in front of you, or where we can have like a lively sort of interaction with it? Um,
Integrate with
because in my
the
mind,
lab's
yeah, what do you
Discord.
think, Nori?
Integrate with the Discord. Send
It's
messages
already
from
integrated
GitHub.
with the Discord, no?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
Then
there, yeah,
we just pay
Maybe could
attention
we
to that
just make
channel.
it? Sorry. a, just maybe a point of action at the end of open spaces. Just say like 2 minutes. Just say right, we've got this that needs
yeah,
voting on. Go and do it. If you want to vote. Um, yeah, I know that the Discord thing is there, but sometimes I think people just need a bit of a prompt. And to be
yeah,
fair, I'm the
exactly.
same. Like I do mean to go on it, but like, well, yeah, I'm becoming a little
So
bit apathetic towards this whole governance process, but I do recognize it's important. So,
that's right. That's exactly, yeah, yeah.
um,
It's
No, it's worth committing to. I can speak for myself. I just haven't done it because it's not part of my daily workflow, right? And it's
yeah,
just a commitment, and it is one worth making. And I think if a few like for the first few of us, it'll be harder to reach velocity, right? But once a few people are proving themselves to be doing this for each vote, and we start to see, well, there's three or four or five, hopefully that makes it a little easier for the next five people to want to do
yeah.
this. So yeah, I'll commit to this, and I want to make sure to register decision for these. I'll make sure to get that done.
All right. Abiodun, I see you got your hand up, and I'm looking to you because I think
Yeah,
this is one of things maybe you got some insight and some
yeah,
experience in.
yeah, sure I do. Sure I do. Thank you, Newman. I love what I'm
Yeah.
seeing here and I'm really motivated. All right, but Newman, I got some questions to ask. I'm so sorry to be forward. All right, so
Oh,
I was actually looking at what the presentations were like. But what are the metrics? I was going to ask, what are the metrics for this on-chain participation? Because for me, I feel it should be more than participation. We should be able to measure accountability here. Are you with me? So, what are the metrics that we implement for this governance participation, please? I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, for sure. Like here in the platform, um, it's just and others can jump in because I think the metric, I mean, do we have a metric for
So
other than seeing these straw polls, like, okay, there'll be buckets of, say, if 10 people come in and then they some vote yes, some vote no, some vote abstain. I mean, we could see like the percentage of like people that are of like membership or I'm trying to think of what other kind of governance metrics we could do it
Yeah.
over history, like the what we voted in the past, and we do have a history link on the site where you can see what we've done in the past. Um, does
All right.
anyone
so
else want
All
to?
right.
Yeah,
so
yeah, Harsha.
All right. Because I'm sorry because I tried to do a deep research on the Cardano system, and I saw that we are going beyond just expression. We are looking at the enforcement of decentralization governance. So that was why I was just wanting to be on page to be sure that we are also on the same page. So that was why I was saying I really don't want to be too forward. I just wanted to know that we are not just going to be expressing voters' participation, and we are pushing for enforcing governance. Because we've had lots of people wanting to express, and it's actually not what I really don't know if you understand me. You know.
Uh, well, yeah, we're going to get there. But Harsha, based on that, did
I
you? Yeah.
so for me, I think that we are trying to solve a couple of different problems. First things first, Gimbalabs has registered a DREP, okay? But Gimbalabs is a
Oh,
decentralized community. We don't know how to
mm,
collectively get together and have a single voice. So we are hoping this would solve the problem, but this is not the final version.
mm.
If the Gimbal
All
Labs
right.
community is interested in governance at all, this will evolve based on what the community wants. So that's what I am looking
Exactly.
uh, at this
Yeah.
point.
Excellent. All right. All right.
Does
All right. Okay.
that
Please,
does
you,
that
you
make
can move on.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's
Dot.
talk more.
Perfect.
Let's
Perfect.
talk more because I definitely respect your experience in all this. And if you're interested in it, we are trying to solve those problems. Remember back in the thing, like this is a real problem. Like how do you get effective governance of a
Exactly.
diverse and decentralized organization without becoming centralizing? Because it is a centralizing force. For instance, right now we have one point that makes the vote, but that puts way too much pressure on that point, and
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
and so et cetera, et cetera. And this isn't the first rodeo. I think that people have gotten together to
Ex-
make decisions for a long, long, long time.
Exactly.
Um, but now we've got
Mm.
like a fresh, every week we get new tools. And like, can we use
Exactly.
these tools to make things effective? So I'm really glad that you're here. And you might be the reason,
Definitely.
like you're in the right
Yes.
spot at the right time, which is one of the things that we say around here. Um,
Yeah.
all right, all
Yeah.
right,
That's my core strength. Thank you.
all
Thank you.
right. I like it. I like it. Your core strength is well acknowledged, and thank you for being here and bringing it to us. That's how it all is going to work. Um,
All right. Okay.
so I think we've got some next actions. We're going to open these votes up because right now general community members can't. Well, the way we designed it is that there's a little grace period that allows the voter, in this case, the voter is James and his wallet. Um, but we're going to open that back up and people are going to vote. I think we can make an announcement, and I'm saying this for our Fireflies secretaries that are out there. We can, as a um, what would that be? An action item to open up and let people know to get in there and vote. And we're going to try to prime the pump. It's one of those things that if we do it, we have to get into it. And then I'm also taking that suggestion from Andrew to sort of mention it at the beginning and at the end, and just say, hey, look, we're a community, and we've got viewpoints and perspectives, and this is a tool that can around these governance topics. Harsha, does that sound about right? And then
That sounds about right, but in general, I just wanted to air out some of my personal frustrations with governance. I genuinely don't think like I think the governance is like a culture that we have to slowly and painfully develop. So people from Gimbalabs are like, okay, I care for governance because of this, this, and this, and they actively participate, like discuss proposals, like all of that. But I don't think, no matter how easy we make this process to vote on a specific proposal and to understand a specific proposal, I think people yeah that culture needs to be developed, otherwise like no matter how good our app is, it wouldn't really help. And I'm speaking for myself because I cannot get myself to like give a
yeah,
shit about governance.
yeah, yeah. Um, and thank you for sharing that. Does anybody sort of want to echo that or respond to that? Like, are you also having trouble and do you see a solution? Um, James had mentioned it's like, okay, it's just not in the workflow and maybe some workflow type of things or the idea of like kind of getting over the activation energy. Anyone else? We can do a sort of a round in popcorn style, like Harsha. Ahmed, Andrew gave a talk. Hey, Yomi, do you have something? Emmanuel, you can come off mute and share. Gideon, James, Jethro, Sebastian, Nori. You know, it
Yeah,
is.
I was thinking just during this conversation, I completely agree with Harsha, and there's a certain amount of work that needs to be done to earn the next step is the best way I can say it, right? We there's enough research about governance to fill many lifetimes,
Yeah.
but there is not yet a lot of, this slow work that I hear Harsha pointing to of really doing the first thing and then the second thing, right? Like we have experts. There's experts on governance, but we are not those. The people at Gimbal Labs are not those. And in general, across the Cardano community, there's still a long way to go to get to that kind of hard-won expertise that you can only get to by trying some things, right? And so here we are with, for example, this DREP platform has a pretty low barrier to entry for people who want to participate in it. And of course, based on theory, we could imagine much higher bars to set for people to become voters at Gimbal Labs. But we only set the bar as low as we possibly can, and we're not engaging with it yet, right? So what right do we have to talk about a more complicated pathway to do this, right?
Mm,
And I'm pointing to us inside of Gimbal Labs because the same is true in the broader Cardano community, right? We're still in that early experimentation phase. We know the theory, but we're
Yeah.
finding what happens when there's actually 350 million ADA on the line, right? We're figuring out what happens when people actually have to decide, well, how much are we going to spend this year and who's going to administer it? So this is that deep research phase. We're right in it right now. And I think for me, the outcome locally here to Gimbal Labs is putting a little bit more commitment to it because I would like to earn that experience, but also seeing it as part of that bigger story.
yep. Yep.
Thank you. All right, all right. Sorry, Newman. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right. So I really understand the fatigue on governance. All right. So having checked through some things, I would suggest that maybe going forward we can have an improvement on. We can create maybe some explicit governance domain like our protocol alignment, maybe treasury funding, educational standards, We can allow each domain, have different quorum rules, different reviewers, expertise. It can be practical, like he's saying, everywhere, right? If you go to other layers too, you would understand that everyone is complaining of governance fatigue. All right, because we don't want to make this practical. We are doing more of theory. So for me, I feel that if we can have domains that have different voting weights, if we can have people having different reviewers, expertise, it reduces the noise and it prevents governance fatigue. All right. So that's actually what I would suggest. That's what I would suggest. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. All right. I do think that we are pioneering, and I think this is what's kind of come up in that new like with the new tools, the fact that we've got 15 people from all over the world here with different perspectives and like this the fruition of that global economy. I'm from like the early internet. I'm from the 90s, and it does seem like it's the promise has come, and now we, there's problems on our solutions, like what I said in the intro. But I think the way out of it is sort of open discussion like this, and then getting into those the practicum, the doing it, and then iterating, which is how we got here in the first place. Um, so, any other thoughts on this? Um, is there something? Yeah. Okay.
So I have one more thought, Newman.
Yeah.
Just because like somehow we managed to build a culture, governance culture internally in Gimbal Labs, like internally inside of Gimbal
Oh,
Labs, we painfully managed to develop that culture, but I don't know how to extend it to the larger Cardano governance in general. Yeah.
and this is something that Nori and I and the folks over at Odin, the Open Decentralized Innovation Networks, um, those there we talk about the sort of mindset, and that as we learn something new, and this is I'm speaking very personally now, that you kind of like, oh right, it's this new thing, and then like stress happens, or forgetfulness or non-mindfulness happens, and you go, and I revert back to the old method, um, and it takes a long time to sort of groove in a new pattern, like learning a new web framework, or oh, my buddy used to talk about learning to snowboard, and he was a skier, and he's like, well, I can learn to snowboard, but when it's nice out, I want to get on my skis, like I want to go back to the thing that's comfortable and nice for me. He's like, yeah, I can practice on a snowboard, but if it's a powder day, I'm reaching for my fat skis and going. Um, so there's this sort of inertia or momentum for the old way, um, and we're trying to build a new way, and it does take effort, and I applaud us for doing the effort. And I think one of the interesting things is, just like Harsha said, is that we internally have this sort of culture. Like, we all show up here for the open governance. We have these tools in our Notion board, and we've got like a proposal format and a way of going about it, built on other things that have been established, standing on the shoulder of giants type of things. And it's just like, can we make the leap to the next, echelon, the next valence, to sort of bring it to a wider community? And that might take time, but I think we're moving towards it. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, all right. Final thoughts, anybody? We still have a little bit of time. I think Jethro or Aomi, I think we got you next on the agenda for coming and talking about our year in reflection, um, sort of like looking back, which is a another part of our mindset here at Gimbal Labs, part of the planning process.
Uh, I just have the designs that I want to showcase. I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Let's Harsha, you think we're ready to move on to that part?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. Here, let me share my screen and just sort of kind of, or Jethro, you share your screen in a bit. But this is the end of the year book or the end of the year project. Um, Here is the draft. Um, you know, we this is our situation that we host all these learning sessions and we do collaborations and project catalyst proposals and governance actions and all these sort of things. And we like Harsh is saying, it's internal to us, like we kind of understand it, but outside of our community, it's not really well known. And so how can we share this and get it celebrated in the wider ecosystem? So um, that's what we're trying to do is get folks um, some shareable artifact and get people reflecting. And to that end, Aomi and Jethro created this proposal, and it was consented to a couple weeks ago. Here's our proposal outline and format. Um, and they've been working on it, and now Jethro's in to give us everybody. A lot of folks submitted some little videos and sort of project reports, and Aomi has been project managing, getting all these things together, and doing announcements and stuff. And now Jethro is working on some of the visuals and the videos. And so Jethro, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Come on, let me share my screen.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it in terms of this, like, okay, we've got a thing inside. It's like, how do you express it and get it outside? From that lens.
Okay, so I used Figma to do my design. So I have this here. This is
Oh,
the beginning of the highlight. So I have this as the first design for the visuals. And then we have, this is just to highlight all the projects that was worked on. So the first one I have here is Andamio, the lead
nice.
and the key milestone. And then followed by Gimbalabs Open Spaces. I don't know if I should explain my design thinking behind them or I should just show the visuals.
As much as
So
you
I
want,
think I'll just,
story.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just show the designs. I don't want to explain the process behind them or my thinking behind them. So let me just show the designs.
Yeah,
So
otherwise we'll steal your process. No, I'm
I
kidding.
yeah, I am really curious because we're around a lot of very developer React npm install dependencies, GitHub pull requests, commits, branches. We're around a lot of those kind of folks, and this is like a different neighborhood, and I would love to get in there because I love Figma. I think Figma is like becoming the big design tool. So I would like to learn, but I think you're
yeah,
right. Let's just look at like what it is, the visual part of it, and how it might fit all together.
okay. So the Gimbal Labs Open Spaces, the Gimbal Labs PBL work group, and then the Astra was. So I think most of the designs just have the same look. The variation is the projects, the logo, they just have the same looks. And then our proposals, the Gimbal Labs African Developers Education
Yeah,
Initiative. So we have some other ones up here. The Odin Season of Collab, the DREP Community Platform,
yeah,
Astra Gimbal Labs, DREP Platform,
nice, yeah.
and the Dandelion. Okay, yeah.
So,
This other
yeah,
contributed. I I really did not understand this part of the project, but I felt I should just still add it. This
Yeah.
contributed to Intersect MBO. The key milestone was he said he worked himself to a point of AI psychosis trying to deliver on vague success criteria. I did not really get the concept though, but I just added it since that was what was on the document.
Yeah, this is yeah, well we could chat about this. This is our friend Alex who's out there in Vietnam and is struggling by all accounts, by his own account, he's struggling to
Oh,
try to get it together. So um we can we can decide, we can let him decide, or sort of we could decide on how we want to I would love for him. Well, we could talk more about that one, but yeah,
okay,
deciding like
okay.
what goes in. So the general thing here is like what goes into this. And my opinion is like a wide net. Like if you're here and you saw that post and said, "Oh, I want to put my project on there," I feel like that's worthwhile. Even though, for instance, I think there's one or two. There's like the stake pool. Somebody talked about their stake pool. Um, that
Eh,
I didn't even know.
Oh,
I do
sorry, about to put my
see,
hand up. Who is that?
yeah,
Jake Poo?
Stakepool, Aaron.
Aaron.
Who's that? Who's Aaron?
Aaron. I'm gonna look him up in the Discord.
Well, you
I
know,
don't, yeah.
there are some people that don't show up in the meetings, but they're hanging around silently on Discord.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Silently on silently on Discord.
Well, it's true. There are a lot of lurkers, and lurking
Yeah,
is totally cool.
yeah,
I do want to say, but I see Sebastian's got his hand up, and I would love to hear from
Yeah,
you, Sebastian. What are you thinking about when you see this here?
yeah, just I want to say respect to Alex. Alex has been a constant advocate
Oh, yes.
of Gimbalabs in Intersect. So sometimes he has proposed things that Gimbalabs should do in the framework of Intersect. Sometimes we don't listen his proposals because proposals require time and effort extra, right? And
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
everybody here is in the middle of something. But I can say he has been a constant facilitator between
yeah,
Gimbal Labs and Intersect, and he has a consistent uh, advocate of Gimbal
yep,
Labs. I tend to think maybe Gimbal Labs is known in the Intersect uh, in Intersect thanks to Alex. So maybe we can frame that proposal in that sense, right? In his work as facilitator and bridge between Gimbalabs and this institution called Intersect.
Mm.
Yeah.
he's also
absolutely.
contributed greatly to PBL over the years, and he helped with the latest round of PPBL videos. Greatly
Yeah.
helped, to be honest. Really pulled us up on that. So respect.
Yep, that was a yeah, his contribution is great. Just in his presence and his sort of energy. I really appreciate his sort of kite surfing, world traveling perspective. And so yeah, he definitely needs to be celebrated. It's just I think the way to frame it, I think he's just in a bad mood. I think he's just in a bad mood. And we just need to frame like he needs to be sort of like recognized and sort of held up because it's so easy psychologically to sort of think about, especially when our mood is bad, that we just think about the bad things. So it's sort of
Mm.
let's does that make sense? Sebastian, is that what you're saying? It's like, hey, let's remember that without him, he's out there advocating for us and being a connector. Is that what you're?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe speaking of the context of uh, the proposal we are seeing in this moment, we could frame that as facilitation. It's a proposal of a facilitation, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
in my opinion, it's the best way to understand his role and his proposal in in in, yeah, in terms of the proposal.
Yeah, and we can let's note takers and AI, like like based on what you just heard about Alex, like what would be a way to frame like the good contributions that he's done? And we can rewrite that. We don't have to take what he wrote because he was just in a bad mood when he wrote it. And he's like, oh, I'm spinning out and I'm not feeling great. But we can sort of say, oh no, actually, you're doing awesome and keep it up, and take care of yourself. And we love you. Is ultimately what it is. And so we and I get in those places. I mean, I understand it 100%. So Jethro, thank
Yeah,
you for sharing that and just saying, hey, look, this is what somebody
yeah.
wrote. But I think that we can exercise our editorial uh, powers and say, oh, well, you're the bridge and facilitating this connection with this other big network. Uh, God bless them because I don't want to do it. Man, Intersect to me is well, I never really felt great there. But I haven't really tried. I like Intersect. Intersect is great, but it seems like a different animal.
Yeah. So I would try refining the statement here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I think these are all the designs we have for now. I don't know if Ayami has anything to add. She's the facilitator for the project. So I just have the designs and the video. So I don't have the video keyed up yet. My Premiere Pro is not on, but I don't have any of the video available presently here. I'm coming. Let me see if I can start that up.
So are
We don't
you? So
have to
you're
show
gonna
the
have a?
video right now, to be fair. Like we can
Yeah,
show
you
it
know,
once
yeah,
it's done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know.
Because
Okay,
I
okay,
know
okay.
just from filmmaking that when you show the video when it's not done, people like, lose interest.
Yeah,
So
don't. Yeah, not to
let
worry.
it be finished.
And
Yeah.
is it just the video, or are these little tiles gonna be featured in the video, and or are you gonna make something? Because I think it was just the video that you're producing, or is there something else? Like, what can we expect?
Yeah, just the video. The video will highlight the projects, people that submitted the projects. So highlight some of the projects, and then
Okay.
after the projects, we would have the montage of everyone saying thank you for being part of Gimbalabs 2025.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
that'll
All
be
those
all.
voices,
Yes,
all the
yes,
people's voices and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that.
yeah.
I love that. I see Aomi, who's sort of the project. This is basically Aomi and Jethro's project. Aomi, do you have anything to add, or do you want to be
Okay.
Oh, you're out there in
Can
the
you,
cafe.
you can hear me,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, 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 we can hear you.
Okay. Um, First of all, I want to appreciate Jeffo for the work he has done so far. Thank you, Jeffo. And I want to appreciate everybody that have contributed to this. Those that feel the fall. Because if they did not feel the fall, we'll not be having this. So I appreciate all the input from everybody. And uh, concerning the video, although I reached out to the Duke boys was it yesterday or thereabout? So I told them that we need like um, a celebratory background music or sound, something like that would add to the video. And we told them that we would send the video to them. They sent me their mail. I'll send it to Jeffrey. So when Jeffrey is done, we'll forward it to them so they can like check it out and include the music or the sound that we feature. And yeah, Jeffrey already explained the concept of how the video will look like. Just having Newman doing the intro of the video with a mobile voice. Then we spotlight all of the projects and we would include what they submitted as like images to I think some people submitted videos, I can't really recall, or images to their project. So we'd add it to that and then we'll add the thanks for being part of 2025 video from everybody as the ending part of the video. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. It was a bit difficult to hear you, but the Juke Boys music licensing, and I'll just explain. I'll explain. We Some of the contributors around here are is a record label that is really working very hard on bringing sort of blockchain technology to the whole music industry, and being able to get artists with licensed work into productions. And this is a small production, and they very generously offered to run through their process with us with no or lower fees, but they're very excited about this. And so it's good to hear that Aomi reached out. If it doesn't happen with this project, I would love to see it happen in some project this year. Um, uh, I think that the royalty, or there's new ways with this technology to get fans and or communities, and you can think of like people that listen to music as a community, um, and the exchange of value and etc. I'm just very curious as what they're doing, and they've made a big effort to come and be a part here, and are always they're just a good. I really like it when Shaggy and Solidity Records Juke Boys are around. So let's look forward to that. That would be really cool. All right, all right. So, um, so we've got some next actions there. Jethro, is there anything? What else? Is there anything that you need from us, and what can we expect? Sort of like closing out this part of the.
There's nothing needed presently from my end.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All good.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. And Harsha, what do you think might be next? Should we move on to our next
Yes,
session?
we should. But there is something that I wanted to bring about, like specifically when it comes to Catalyst. Who can put Gimbalabs who can use Gimbalabs' name in their proposals and who cannot? Because previously I get it, like we could just put Gimbalabs' name and get on with it. But now, like because the rules for Catalyst have changed, like we'll keep getting stuck all the time. So we need to make sure what is who actually gets to use Gimbalabs' name. Yeah.
So, and I saw that Sebastian just gave a thumbs up to that, and I wouldn't mind. Yes, yeah. Do you guys understand this sort of issue? The Project Catalyst and team team membership, or project team. I think it's called project team. Um, or co-proposers. Okay, Andrew, what do you got?
Is it that now they've limited every project to proposals per round?
So that's one part of it. But the other part is if you have an outstanding proposal from before, and I think it's pretty short. Like if you have a outstanding proposal that's off track from 2 rounds ago, then that will stop any new proposals. So if this is Fund 15, Fund 14, so if you got something in Fund 13 that's not on track or behind in the milestones or stalled, then that's going to stop any new projects from going into the current round. This is something to decide, um, and we can sort of look and see. Let me share my screen. Let's see, because we can look and see what in Gimbal. So if you do a search so this is Fund 15. So this is Fund 15. If you do it's not in this search. Wait a minute. That's a search of the whole website. I'm really good at. Okay, so here, this search. So if you search for Gimbal Labs, you'll get the block print. And this is actually to be voted on, right? Emmanuel is still around. Emmanuel's still here. Um, uh, So this is the one Gimbalabs proposal, I think, according to the search here, and we don't know if it's like where the search exactly goes. Um, uh, but it's live and will when the voting starts up, this will be live and being voted on. Um, so there's a couple of things here, like who the proposer, because there used to be a thing called a proposer and a co-proposer, and I don't think that's it. Now they have this thing way down at the bottom called team. Okay, project and solution developers. So yeah, Gimbal Labs is listed here with in this section.
Keep going.
But
That is like a general section. I think there'll be another section
yeah, down
somewhere.
at the bottom, we saw this one as an example of a great thing. So this under team. So builders, block print, and then this sort of collaborating with Gimbal Labs builders, meaning like this is a partnership and a collaboration. Um, I I don't think so, but this part, like this guy right here, that's the proposer part. I think that's the thing that triggers these automated filtering. So if Gimbal Labs, if it said like Gimbal Labs team or Gimbal Labs official, which somehow we got two different accounts here. Um, so this is Harsha. I mean,
So
how
yes,
do
you're
we?
right. Gimbal Labs official is like since the Catalyst keychain came into existence.
Right.
But before that, it was Gimbal Labs team, you said?
I think it's
Uh,
Gimbal Labs team.
yeah, yeah. I feel like it was my mistake because like I created the keychain and like I should have kept it
Oh boy.
consistent. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, there are like a bunch of Gimbal Labs HK, Gimbal Labs. Yeah.
So this is Gimbal Labs in the if we do a search for the whole through the whole thing. Okay, here you go. Look, proposers. Gimbal Labs HK. Oh, I didn't even know about this one. This must be Sedan Labs. Um, what if I was to no, can't. So here's HK. So oh wow, they're getting really good results. 4 of 4 proposals. The Aiken course. Huh. Oh, they must have been listed as a co-proposer here. Uh, the Hong Kong series and community. Okay, so back. No, got to do it here again. Gimbal. And I do think cleaning this up and what we could do. So I think official. So this is the latest one, the newest one. So this should be fund
That
fund
should be Fund
14.
14. Yeah.
Yeah, these are all the fund 14s.
Ah, shit.
And then Gimbal Labs team, I think this is the oldest one. Yeah, 22 proposals. So basically, what we still have two in progress here. Um, this one is the one. This one is the one that we're sort of getting. Yeah, yeah. Sebastian, you want to jump in? Um,
Yeah. Just to update you about the recent updates from the Catalyst team, right? Respect to the Marlow PVL proposal, but also respect to well, mainly I'm in charge of the Marlow PVL. So the thing is, in the next, the Catalyst team is taking some decisions about the the the, the continuation of these proposals, the Marlow PVL and the handshake proposal, uh, with the goal in mind of uh, unblocked the proposals, the Fund 14 proposals. So some decisions, they are taking some decisions. We have to reflect on that and take some decisions in response, right? But the point is this situation, the situation with both proposals will be the destiny of those proposals will be decided in the next weeks, right? So for the Fund 14 proposals, won't be problem to the continuation and the onboarding of these Fund 14s. So my point is, it's in the situation of these proposals is in the way
Okay.
of a solution, right?
But at the moment, Project Catalyst is deciding that I know that there's been some back and forth between trying to figure out that I guess in a nutshell, it's the state of Marlow has sort of been
Yeah, there are
stalled.
different
Yeah.
there are different situations that uh, that block the normal implementation of the proposal, right? Out of our hand, out of the Gimbalabs and the team that has committed to deliver on this proposal. It's a normal situation because we have some close dependency with what the Marlow team plans into the future, right? Okay, there are so many details that are playing in this case. But the point is, the resolution of these proposals will be done in the next weeks. Will
Okay.
come in the next weeks, right? So this is my intention is to deliver you a message of calm and peace in the terms of, okay, you won't be blocked permanent
No.
in a permanent way.
And have they I mean, it seems like they're Catalyst is being reasonable. I mean, you can talk to somebody. I mean, I think that's when
Absolutely.
things get tough, when there's nothing. I do know that over the winter break, they stopped for quite a bit. For instance, there's still not the town halls aren't going on right now. I think next week might be the next town hall.
The Catalyst team, they have been really collaborative in this sense, right? They have awareness of the difficulties that represent this dependency with the Marlow team and the Marlow situation in general, the Marlow language and the Marlow stack. They understand the situation. So we are in good terms and they are facilitating this process. So we are in good terms.
Good. They're not angry at us.
No.
Okay, good.
They understand the situation.
Yeah, and we could, I mean, back to Harsha base, like, I mean, I'm looking at we definitely need to just, the Gimbalabs team and Gimbalabs official.
So,
We can,
yeah.
and then the Gimbalabs Hong Kong. Yeah, all that. What do you think?
Yeah, so my whole concern is not what happened in the past. Right now, we are using the Gimbalabs official profile. But in the future, who can use Gimbalabs' name to put proposals forward? And what do they need to do? Do they need to come here and say, hey, we are planning to use Gimbalabs' name, and then like they get like consent from the community? Or what is even the process? Or like previously, like we didn't have to do anything. We can just go and put Gimbalabs. I remember some proposals that have Gimbalabs' name, even though they have never like seen Gimbalabs or know anyone at Gimbalabs. I've seen that before. So I'm just trying to set a precedent so things like that don't happen in the future and get us stuck because we are dependent on Catalyst for, survival.
I share that concern. In fact, that concern has been in my mind for years, right? But I think Gimbalabs has evolved in a way that we have the technical technical not only the technical knowledge but the expertise to manage that situation without blocking people to present proposals, because at the end of the day, that's the sense of this organization, right? This decentralized organization, people should be the freedom to present proposals, but we need protocols to people make use of that kind of right? And in fact, the tooling we are if the tooling we are developing internally with the reps, I think we can make something. We can build some tooling similar to that to regulate that kind of initiatives that allow the community to be aware of the proposals that are are using the name and the community as as way to that are using not only using the name Gimbalabs, but they are that some kind of awareness of the people are presenting proposals because they are part of the community, not because they are taking just the name. Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, totally.
Andrew.
Andrew, yeah, and then James made a comment in the chat that we can.
And so, just on what Harsha was asking, how is it even physically? It's fair enough what Catalyst have done, so they're reducing the amount of proposals one organization can make. Is it physically possible for somebody to still just take out the Gimbalabs name and tag it onto their proposal? Or is there actually a system in place where now there has to be whoever controls the Catalyst account has to agree to have their name on it? Because otherwise it's just the Wild West. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I
So
think you're right.
yeah, go ahead, Sebastian.
No, that Andrew has right. Catalyst has to make some adjustments in the way people is presenting proposals, because today, currently, there is no kind of a defense to use SundaeSwap or TX5 or something like that, any name in the ecosystem, and present a proposal on behalf of that. So some adjustments should be taken in general.
So it used to be that as it's like you could put down a proposer, and a proposer meant that you wrote the proposal with that account. And this may have switched from when they went to the keychain model, and then there was a thing like just in the body of the proposal, you can write, anyone down. And I think you can I don't know how they could police that, and I don't think that blocks you from, like, because it's not automated. I mean, it's just, but if you're, if you're in the metadata of a proposal as a proposer or co-proposer, and again, I don't know if they still use this co-proposer thing, but it is something we should get clarity on as a community that some might just use to just to put things down. Now, but for instance, we'll take the two use cases. So Alex had made a bunch of proposals and put Gimbalabs down as a team member, and it said like team, and it says, okay, there's Gimbalabs. And when somebody pressed him on it in an intersect Discord, he's like, well, no, we're just using Gimbalabs technology and et cetera, infrastructure, but it wasn't clear. And he's like, oh, okay, that's not clear. With a manual and the block print, they put down that the building team is block print, and in collaboration with Gimbalabs members. So I think that makes a more clear distinction. And I think that we're good with Catalyst for that type of thing. And again, it's sort of a weird situation because we aren't a company. We're just a network of builders and people, making a commitment to collaborate.
I mean, on paper, we are a company.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. So this is one of the little friction points. But I think if we keep an open channel with Catalyst and we sort of say, hey, look, we're trying to address this, and how best to sort of participate in the Catalyst system, because the things that are wrong with it, it's kind of a Bill Clinton, the former president of the United States, that said, like, the things that are wrong with America. Oh gosh, how's the quote go now? But basically, there's a lot of things that are wrong, true, but there's a lot of things that are right, and that those right things can, are still valid and good. That's the way I feel about Catalyst. It's not perfect. It's not a pristine, like incredible thing, and it does. I do have a little bit of um like regret, or that feeling of like, oh man, back in those days when it was so like heady and like we were really going to change the world, and uh highest form of human collaboration. And it's like, well, no, it's not really that, but it is a good thing for what it is. Um, so I appreciate our commitment and ongoing. Like for instance, in 2026, I really think that Catalyst you has a place for like what we do. Um, I think we definitely have to make an intentional um, decisions to not let it take over, but we should also make intentional decisions to not be obstructed, so that we still have the option for doing it, because I think it's still an incredible thing, especially for like the block print guys and gals. We need like that's a great avenue for them and other groups. Thinking about maybe like 45B and some other ways. Uh, because just as I rant on, please somebody stop me. Okay, Andrew.
Andrew's hand is up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so just I guess a quick question. And I don't know what the situation is with Gimbal Labs, what we've got left in terms of funds, but are we in a situation where we could do with making a catalyst proposal for sustain and maintain? Or
Harsha and I did talk about that one. We uh I will say this, that we have gone our sustain and maintain catalyst proposals have we've lowered the ask in ADA. So I think the first ones are for like 100,000, and then there were 80, and I think we're on our
No,
third
no,
one and it's like 60.
yeah. So there were 200,000, and this time it is the Fund 14 is 60,000 because that's the
Yeah,
maximum we could have asked, unless we
yeah,
change our proposal category.
right.
Um, And our Gimbal Labs treasury, I also think we should just like keep looking at our Gimbal Labs treasury in this governance space, just so we know how much leeway we have, how much we can spend, what can we do with it. Like if we are running out, then we'll have to put out like a sustain maintain Gimbal Labs proposal.
Ah, holy cannoli. I'm looking at the time. Um, I want to thank everybody for coming. I definitely want to respect our stopping time. Thank you for going through it. I shared something in the chat, and I'll share it here for the final bit. Um, this is what if we were floating in space, like this is what all the folks on the call would look like. Um, Thanks so much for making these connections all over the world, and for doing this work, the hard work of governance, the hard work of getting together and collaborating and coordinating all this effort. Um, it does surprise me, and frustrate me at the same time. But I'm really looking forward to the brand new year and a whole 12 months of opportunity. Um, if you think about, if we widen our scope and we think about like all of the things that are happening out in the world, like we do have the power to get some things done. Hey, Jethro, what's going on?
So I think this would be a good thing to add to the visual. If I could get
Oh,
this.
oh yeah, it's on the. I just put a link on the chat. And we can
Okay,
also,
thank
if
you.
you wanted to like create one, we can I can show you. For instance, it might be fun to like get all of the people that have been in all the meetings and show where we are. That would be cool.
Okay,
Nice, man.
thanks.
All right. Any last words? Anyone want to leave us with a bit? Harsha, James.
No, I feel good. Yeah.
Yeah, conversation today, everybody. Thank you.
All right. All right. Okay. Signing off.
Talk soon.
Ciao.
Bye.